What's up, guys? Obviously, it's Captain Obvious, and we're going to kick the LMG reviews off on the right way, doing the M27 IAR. We're going to do the magazine-fed machine guns first and move on to the belt-fed light machine guns later on in this month. You'll unlock this weapon after receiving 170,000 support score for the RU side, and it's the default support weapon for the US team. The damage will be the same as a standard assault rifle at 25 to 18.4 with a drop-off beginning at 8 meters and ending at 50 meters. Shots to kill in core mode are 4 to 7, and then in hardcore mode it's going to drop down to 3 to 5. Alright, so 25 to 18.4 damage is the same as assault rifles and the other magazine-fed light machine guns in this game, and some of the other belt-fed such as the M249 and the LSAT. So, this damage is not that great for an assault rifle, or even an LMG at that point. So the LMGs really should have higher damage. They have the larger bullets, well not in this case, it still has a 5.56 by 45mm round, but some of them have larger cartridges than the other weapons in this game, and they still have the same damage. So, you may think that they should have more damage, and they really should. But the M27 IAR does not stand out of any other assault rifle in this game in terms of its damage. It's actually pretty low compared to other weapons in the class. The rate of fire is 750 rounds per minute, muzzle velocity is 650 meters per second. The maximum range is 975 meters. You can fire the weapon on fully automatic and semi-automatic mode, and the suppressive effect is 7.0%. Though the weapon may lack in closer range with the 750 rounds per minute fire rate up against other weapons such as the AEK-971, the FAMAS, or the MTAR, it is still a very, very powerful weapon in close to medium range and out to medium longer ranges. 750 rounds per minute allows for controllable automatic fire. The recoil does not get too out of control as long as you burst fire with like 10 round bursts. Muzzle velocity is also really, really fast, which is pretty nice. Maximum range is really long. Suppressive effect is the same as an assault rifle, which is a little bad compared to the other belt-fed light machine guns with a 10.0% suppressive effect. The reload time is 1.9 seconds and 2.5 seconds on empty. Cancel time reloads are 1.425 and 1.875 seconds. Threshold is 0.75 and the magazine size is 45 rounds plus 1 in the chamber. That reload time is awesome. It has the fastest reload out of any magazine-fed machine gun in the support class. It's a really, really nice advantage, allowing for better versatility in closer range because you don't have to worry about reloading your weapon and taking a really, really long time to do it. Magazine size of 45 rounds is an awesome, awesome increase. It's like an assault rifle with extended magazines, but in the support class. Your first shot recoil multiplier is 2.2 times whatever the initial recoil for the vertical side is. Center speed is 18.0, recoil up is 0.35, left pull is 0.1, and right pull is 0.3. Spread values are a little wonky, as a matter of fact. Hipfire spread is terrible. Don't really worry about hipfiring outside of really close range. Aim down sight spread is a little unique. Its standing and crouching accuracies are exactly the same, but when you go prone, you'll be a lot more accurate than you would be while standing or crouching. So the recoil on this weapon is, it's not the best and it's not the worst. That first shot multiplier is the highest in the LMG category, but it's exactly tied with the MG36. So you have to really worry about that huge jump in recoil right in the beginning. But other than that, the recoil patterns pretty much aren't too bad. There's weapons with higher recoil patterns in the category, such as the MG36 and, the M240 Bravo and things like that. The spread values are, pretty bad, but you can make do. So let's go to my recommended attachments for the M27 IAR. The heavy barrel unlocked at 300 kills will increase your vertical recoil to 0.4025, 15% increase. Increase drop-off distance to 75 meters. It will not increase muzzle velocity. It will decrease aim down sight spread by 50%, but increase hipfire spread by about 14%. I have a quick disclaimer for you guys. The heavy barrel is not on Simfix charts. It's not recorded in their website. So I'm not 100% certain that this information I gave you guys is the same. I compared this to the MG36 and put the heavy barrel in the MG36 and used that spread value for the M27 IAR. By default, their spread values are exactly the same, so I went by what my gut tells me about how the other weapons behave with the heavy barrel and added it in at the end. Unlock at 30 kills, the foregrip will decrease left pull to 33% of original, which is 0.067. It will also decrease the right pull to 0.201 by the same value. It would also increase aim down sight spread by 25%. Now, the only reason I say use the foregrip on this weapon is just to keep it controllable. Like I said, the horizontal recoil may be on the higher side, but the vertical recoil itself is easier to control. So putting the foregrip on this weapon makes the weapon a little bit more controllable than it would be by default. Take note, however, there are more useful attachments on this weapon because the horizontal recoil still is easy to control, but I still wanted to recommend the foregrip just in case you want to use it. The flash suppressor will increase vertical recoil to 0.298, which is a 14% decrease. It will also increase hipfire spread by about 14% as well. So the flash suppressor is a very, very good attachment for this weapon in one circumstance, and you'll see me in this my recommended class setup later on in the video. And the flash suppressor is great for an aggressive playstyle while using the M27 IAR. It's not great at longer ranges because it's easier to control the vertical recoil then, but when you want to go fully automatic, the flash suppressor really, really helps you. And also in 10 to 11 round bursts, it helps out a lot like that, like in medium range, or a little bit longer than that, like at longer ranges. So the bipod, which is your default attachment for the M27 IAR, will lower recoil and decrease hipfire and aim down sight spread all at the same time while you're deployed. It does not work while you're not deploying the attachment. So, contrary to the stats, as a matter of fact, the M27 actually has an extremely strong left pull with the bipod attached. For some reason, it just does this. I mean, the stats say it's supposed to be a right pull, but it's a very, very heavy left pull. The only reason I would ever recommend the bipod on this weapon is to increase the accuracy. It does nothing for your recoil. It actually makes it a whole lot worse. I have a feeling this is a glitch because it should not be this heavy to the left. It will increase your accuracy, yes, but make sure you burst fire. Otherwise, you'll get really, really out of control. I actually have two recommended class setups for the M27 IAR, long range and close to medium range. The first setup is the holographic sight, bipod, and heavy barrel. This is your longer range support role class, which I'll detail in a little bit after the next class setup. Now this is your close to medium range class setup for the M27 IAR. It has the reflex sight, no primary attachment, and the flash suppressor, which I'll detail in a little bit after I detail the first class setup. Alright, so now the first class setup I recommend to you guys is the holographic sight, bipod, and heavy barrel. This is your longer range support role class. It increases your accuracy from that very, very bad 0.4 spread by default. It will also make the weapon better at longer ranges by increasing that drop off distance to 75 meters. Now it will not make the weapon more powerful at longer ranges, but you'll be able to get a 5-shot kill out to longer ranges than other weapons without the heavy barrel. That's the one thing it does for you in terms of range. You'll get a 5-shot kill out to around 28 to 30 meters instead of, I think it's about, 20 or something like that. So it gives you a pretty significant increase in terms of the heavy barrel and its range. Now the bipod is there to keep that under control, especially that vertical recoil. And you combine the heavy barrel with the bipod, you'll have an extremely pinpoint accurate weapon when deployed. Make sure you use this setup in this way. Stick back from the rest of your team, deploy that bipod, and just rain lead down on the enemy while controlling that extreme left pull of the recoil, which is kind of odd for the M27 IAR with the bipod. So now the aggressive playstyle classic which I gave you guys, which is the reflex sight and the flash suppressor, is my favorite and the one I'm using in the gameplay right now. I like playing aggressively. I like close to medium range gunfights. I do not like longer range because I like in the action gameplay. The flash suppressor is great for this situation because it lowers that pretty heavy vertical recoil. I like treating the M27 IAR as an assault rifle. And that's where my one main difficulty with this weapon comes in. There is no reason you should ever use this weapon over an assault rifle. There really isn't. It has higher recoil, worse spread. The only advantage it has is that larger magazine size, which really isn't that bad for a shorter reload on an assault rifle. So, in reality, the M27 IAR does not fulfill the LMG role. So I have to recommend against you guys using this weapon if you want to get all the advantages that you can out of the support class. But if you guys are playing a very aggressive playstyle with the support class, the M27 is probably one of your best bets because of that higher rate of fire and controllable nature. The only weapon with a higher rate of fire in the LMG category is the M249, which by default has worse spread and it has worse hipfire accuracy. So the M27 is a very, very great close to medium range option in the support class. It does not fulfill the roles of an assault rifle because assault rifles have better accuracy and more controllable recoil. But in some cases, it can fulfill your close to medium range support needs when you need it. Don't use it all the times because there's better, heavier machine guns out there for the support class. So that is it for today's episode of the Armory. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And now next episode, I'll be covering the RPK light machine gun. It should be a good episode. That weapon's a little unique for the category, as a matter of fact, so I'm going to enjoy reviewing that weapon. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, remember to give it a thumbs up. That helps out a lot. And if you guys can share the video, that would help out a lot as well. Remember to follow me on Twitter. The link is down in the description. And as always, rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later.